And today we're highlighting the significance of Asian American heritage and the novel Two Faces.
Here with us to discuss the novel and their real-life experiences is authors Nina Wolpe and Gordon Nagai. It's an honor to have you both here on Good Day Northern Michigan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
So, first things first, I would love to hear more just about your story.
Well, basically, our story elements are what we actually experienced during that time. We did change our age from age 4 at the beginning of the war to age 10 so that we would be older, more aware of what was going on around us, and more intelligent as we dealt with the racial prejudice and our deepening friendship.
And Nina, talk to us a little bit about the collaboration of this book to do this together as friends, and obviously a friendship that has endured for decades.
Mm-hmm. We were far away from each other in the beginning of it and all along the way, and that made it hard, but we were on the phone frequently, and especially on text, on email, that kind of thing with the computer. But there were times when I wish we could have been sitting side by side over coffee, working it through.
I'm curious for both of you if there were parts of the story maybe that you didn't necessarily remember on your own until a conversation triggered something and you said, oh yeah, I do remember that, or this happened or that happened. Any stories like that that you want to share? Nina, we'll start with you first.
Through the book, each chapter, when he was taken away to the camp, we decided to write to each other. And those chapters are personal experiences that we had, that we remembered from our childhood. Even though I was 7 when the war was over, there were so many memories during all that time with my family being we had to move in with my grandfather, and we had to go between the 2 grandparents' homes twice a year. And my dad was assigned to England overseas, and all those kinds of memories, and school and friendships in school are true stories that we put into the book with each chapter that we remembered. And obviously from talking also with family members.
Sure.
Now, how do each of you feel that these wartime experiences shaped you as people? If there was a lesson that you learned having to persevere through these circumstances, what would be that lesson to share with our viewers?
There are 3 elements that came out of my experiences from camp and just living with my family after the war. First was that the importance of family. My parents made sure that everything we did while we were in camp, we did as families. We ate in the collective mess hall as a family. Anytime we did anything as any kind of activity in camp, we did it as family. So the family was really important. The second thing was that my parents both, in spite of what the government did to all persons of Japanese ancestry, both my parents came out of the war with a very strong patriotism, and I inherited that from them. My mother used to say, which was really, as I think about it afterwards, very generous on her part, that the government, were doing everything they knew how, the best that they could. And the essence of that, while the government's actions were really severe and negative, I came away with an appreciation for our form of government. And the last thing was a sense of justice. The whole experience, I was too young at the time to actually know this, but afterwards, as I grew to understand and comprehend what actually happened to my family and to so many others, I developed a very strong sense of justice and the need to pursue that.
And what about yourself, Nina?
Yeah, my my dad, of course, was overseas. He was in the military in England, and he was assigned to an Air Force base in England. So daily, when the airplanes were leaving the base, you know, he was always worried about all these friends coming back. And then, of course, the German planes were attacking as they could. So he was terrified. And for some reason, he just didn't get the help and the groupness, you know. And that affected my family deeply because he came home wanting a divorce because he had put a lot of attention into some female relationships that he was having at the base. And that touched my life completely and forever. Because at that time in America, there were not so many divorces. That was kind of, it wasn't a rare thing, but it wasn't thing. You know, I went to school when my mom remarried with a different name than my mother's name. And I always had a sort of worry about myself and whether everything was going to be okay, and we would always hang together. But during the war, when my mom and I were moving back and forth between the grandparents, as the book says, she and I just had an amazing relationship, and she was so strong and so involved with the community and helping out. She was a principal of a school. And so that part of my life was really pretty normal. You know, the kids went out and collected things for helping the military. Like we'd go around with little red wagons and pick up metal things from house to house that the people didn't need anymore. And we'd take it down to the army post there. And they would, of course, use nylon stockings and the metal for parachutes and building ships and airplanes and whatever. And the kids did that all over America.
Well, Nina, thank you. Yeah, thank you both so much, you and Gordon, for stopping in this morning and chatting with us. TwoFacesTheBook.com. It's where you can go. There's an online book launch April 13th at 4 p.m. You can register for that event through Eventbrite, and we'll have all the links you need on 9and10news.com after the show today. Thank you both so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you both.